This Guzzlord was once this Zygarde. Look at Zygarde's torso. 2 eyes and a closed mouth in a jagged pattern. Now look at Guzzlord. It has the same torso. However, the closed eyes are now opened, stained a cold, unnatural blue. And its previously closed maw is now forcefully pried apart. Let's zoom in on the face. Zygarde has pure white eyes in a familiar shape. Let's see what happens when we overlay Guzzlord's own eyes over these ones. They're almost identical. However, Guzzlord's pupils are less focused and more scornful. Now for the solidifying fact. They're shiny variants. Here, take a look at them side by side. Not so far-fetched now, right? But for us to understand the reasoning behind Zygarde's new appearance, we need to go back to the beginning. Stepping through the Ultra Wormhole, you land in a familiar place. Huali City, or rather, the faint memories that still linger here. The chip wall, where you first used your Pokefinder. A rusted sign, where City Hall once stood. Red fences, the same ones Elima used to paint. Even the beachfront's entrance gate now lies half buried in rubble. The echoes of Melemele Island aren't just felt through visuals though. The music here is eerily nostalgic. This comes from the fact that this theme is just a distorted and reversed version of Huali City's day and night tracks. It's easier if I show you. Listen closely. It's as if the city is trying to rewind time, desperately clinging onto its last remnants of life. So, what happened to this world? According to in-game hints, this timeline is of an Earth that fell to corporate greed and heavy industrialization. The land's overuse caused the Tapos to leave the island behind, causing Z-moves to become ineffective. In desperation, the people of Huali City built a power plant using an experimental fuel source. One meant to save the region after nature degraded, but it failed. The plant exploded, poisoning Alola and possibly the rest of the world. The people tried to survive, to repair the damage that had been going on for far too long. They ordered a variety of Pokemon to help combat the toxic waste, but even someone like Muk couldn't keep up. The radiation still spread, so the survivors had to flee. They escaped through Ultra Wormholes, abandoning their broken world, taking as many of their Pokemon with them as they could, but not all. Some were left behind, still fighting a losing battle. Hey, quick reminder, if you enjoyed the video so far, then a like and subscribe is really appreciated. Now then, where were we? This leads us to the video's central theory. Guzzlord is a corrupted version of Zygarde, the legendary Pokemon designed to preserve ecological balance. When the ecosystem collapsed, so did Zygarde. Little by little, the overdevelopment of the land eroded its strength. Zygarde isn't a single being, it's a swarm. A network of cells and cores scattered across the world like nerves, sensing every imbalance. The more endangered the environment becomes, the more its forms evolve. But in a world like this one, where everything is poisoned, decaying, and lost, Zygarde's system would have gone into overdrive. Maybe the cells try to adapt, but adaptation requires growth. And growth at this scale means replication. Fast, constant, and desperate. Uncontrolled. And when cells replicate without control, that's no longer evolution, that's a cancer. Its swarm of cells, once a system of harmony, was still trying to heal the ecosystem, so the cells consumed, not out of malice, but to cleanse, to restore. But the consumption wasn't just for reviving the broken world, it was also to sustain its newfound growth. Zygarde's forms require a tremendous amount of energy to maintain, and in a poisoned world where natural life is scarce, devouring everything may have been the only way to stay active. The fact that Guzzlord produces no waste also supports this theory. Everything it eats is absorbed, broken down into raw energy. That's not gluttony, that's desperation. And its arms, they now serve no purpose but to shovel any type of matter inside of its mouth. Even its typing reflects its fall. Zygarde is a ground dragon type. Ground stands for its connection to order and the ecosystem. Dragon for its strength and ancient power. After its corruption, the typing switches to dark dragon. The ecosystem's link is now gone, and its order now twisted into chaos. While there's still a dragon, it now embodies raw power and ruin. Now some of you might be thinking, hold on, the anime tells a different story, and you'd be right. In that timeline, Ash ends up in the Ultra Ruin too, but there it wasn't a power plant that destroyed the city. Instead, Melemele Island was ruined by overdevelopment, just like in our theory. But here, Guzzlord arrived through an Ultra Wormhole, after the Tapus had already left, tearing through everything in its path. The people weren't fleeing through wormholes like in the game, they were evacuated abroad, suggesting the rest of the world was safe, and Pokemon stayed behind on the island, which meant the land wasn't polluted enough to require hazmat suits. In this reality, Ash is nearly devoured by Guzzlord, but is saved by Dia and his partner Zeraora. Together, they fight the Ultra Beast at the ruins of the Pokemon School, and with the help of a shiny Tapu Koko, they manage to send it back through a wormhole. So yes, the Ultra Ruin has multiple interpretations, but in a world with infinite timelines, that only strengthens this theory's core. After all, if different realities can exist in the Pokemon multiverse, it's not so far-fetched to believe that in one of them, Zygarde did fall to ruin. So what do you think? Could Guzzlord really be the last desperate echo of Zygarde? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.